All right, that looks good. This looks good. Get that clicked on, click that on. And that's up. Sliding this over, getting my chat up. Hopefully everyone's off to a good Friday evening. It's always a little bit weird. I'm used to these kind of streams being on a on a Saturday night. So there's a little bit of a thing. What's up, Ape? You having a bad day? Oh, I'm sorry to hear, man. Hopefully things get better. What's up, Jags? What's up, Matt? How you guys all doing? All right. All right, there we go. Now I got it up. What's up, Nicholas? Never had strep throat before. I don't know what that's like. Can't relate. You know, and that's really weird because I grew up in a house with 3 brothers and a sister, so there's 5 kids. You know, I've also never had the flu. Before the NFL draft, are you doing a mock draft? Yeah, we're going to have tons of mock drafts. We usually do about 4 or 5. But I wait till after the combine to start doing them, so I have an idea of like who's going where and like what to look at, and I have something to go off of other than just like he did really good at college. You know what I mean? It's like you can only go so far with college stuff. What up, Ven? We'll give it like 10. We'll give it like 10 minutes, like usual. By the way, then we'll hop into all these games. There's a ton of them. We might be really busy tonight, so you know. Yeah, I think a lot of I would like to see a bunch of upsets this weekend. Like here's what I'd like to see happen. I'd like to see the Jaguars, Giants, Bengals, and 49ers win, but you know. At some point, yeah, Ven. Not tonight though. Probably not tonight. I don't really like doing mock drafts this early. Bears, probably hopefully trade their picks. I think there's a bunch of teams that should be auctioning off that pick. The Bears number 1, 100%. You could probably get a King's Haul for that number 1 pick this year. I'm talking like 3 to 4 first round picks from somebody, multiple mid round picks, possibly a player. Like you actually could just make a team back the fucking Brinks truck up. Like I don't like I would utilize that 1 and at least get 2 to 3 ones back and be like, all right, we'll jump back to 7. You guys can have it, all yours. We're drafting offensive tackles anyway. Suck our dicks. Literally, just draft the best tackle available. If you're Chicago, trade back to like 10. He's no offensive lineman's going top 10 unless Chicago trades back into the 10s. Because if you're the Chicago Bears and your number 1 priority isn't putting a goddamn lineman in front of that quarterback, what are you doing? I don't even care about the defense. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Yeah, you have a fucking game-changing, kind of game-breaking quarterback. And they're like, and I've seen a lot of Bears fans and a lot of people saying they should go defense, but it's like, man, no, they shouldn't. Somebody's going to want CJ Stroud or Bryce Young at 1, and that pick is going to be worth gold. The Colts probably. The Colts will probably give up everything to get CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. But, you know, it's always fun to think about. This there's going to be this might be the first mock drafts where we allow trades. I don't know. You actually picked the Giants to upset the Eagles in overtime, 32-26. That one I just don't know about. Plenty of good edge rushers in the draft. You're better off getting a good, yeah. Yep. I seen Fields get hit way too many hit hard too many times. Well, if Chicago stays at 1, there's a 0% shot of quarterbacks going first. So I'd say 0. Because that'd be pretty crazy. Be like, we're going to win with a 2-quarterback system with nobody to throw the ball to and nobody to protect our guy. Yeah. If they trade, yeah. I gotcha. I mean, they really did say they are considering drafting a quarterback still. It's like, that's crazy. What are you going to do? A 2-quarterback system? Fields is going to be the runner. The other guy's going to throw it. Like, dude, just say you're not going quarterback. It's like, dude, we all know. We all know you're trading that fucking pick, Chicago. Joey Porter Jr. Yeah, that'd be a good pickup. I want to see the Bengals-Niners Super Bowl. You know what's weird? Bengals-Niners has happened like 3 times in NFL history. It feels like at least once. It's weird that those are the teams that are good again. He's not eligible to stay for a 3rd year, JJ. He's done. His college eligibility is all over. JJ, you're quite literally a Bills fan. If Jags upset to keep T-Law's Saturday streak. Yeah, we'll go over those games in a moment. We'll get there. You're a very confusing guy, JJ. You don't want your favorite team to win in the Bills? You'd rather the Bengals win over your favorite team? The fandom of JJ is complex and ever evolving. JJ only fucks with winners. That's the truth. None of his teams are ever bad. He's like, I don't root for bad teams. That ain't me. Who do you think I am? A loser? Listen, if the Bills win 7 games next year, I'm not a Bills fan. That's some loser shit. I have a bad feeling for the Giants, though. I don't know why. Jags Bengals AFC title game. That'd be pretty crazy. I also got a bad feeling for the. Okay, so can I talk about something before we hop into the games? I'm starting to not like these Jaguars fans. Maybe I just get a little bit annoyed for no reason. Maybe I'm just a little bit retarded and I don't like underdogs. Got to remember that. I'm annoyed. It's like, what are they trying to prove on social media right now? I don't understand what their angle is. Like okay, so here's like a mini drama that's been going on. I don't know if you guys have been following this. Arrowhead is notoriously, even when they were one of the worst teams in football, like literally one of the hardest places in the NFL, if not the hardest place to play. Very intense fans in Kansas City. Very, very aggressive fans. Very, very loud place to play football. The stadium is like designed to get louder than it should be. The fans know how to like elevate their decibels and shit. It's pretty crazy, right? So it's literally regarded as one of, if not the hardest places to play in pro football. And the Jaguars players were acting like they're used to their fans, so it's like some kind of equivalence to what Arrowhead is. And it's like, and then Trevor Lawrence is out here like, oh, I'm used to the college football playoffs. And I'm like, yeah, sure, there's a lot of, what's up, stud? Yeah, there's a lot of people that watch college football and go. I don't think you've ever experienced an Arrowhead game, though. That's a whole different atmosphere. That's weird over there. They are, and like they're like showing all their fan support, and I like that. Don't get me wrong, I think that's fun. But it's this one saying, it was always the Jags, and I get the meme behind it, right? I like the meme behind it. They're almost too confident right now. Like, do you think the Lions would be going around? Go check out the Jags social media pages. These dudes are like, if they don't win, this is going to be one of the worst weeks out, because there's going to be a lot of like freezing cold takes from this page. These guys are acting like there's no choke possible coming from from the Jaguars. These Chiefs fans, like, we're gonna overwhelm these Chiefs fans in Kansas City. We're gonna, we have more than them. They're like documenting how many Jaguars fans are like heading to to Kansas City, and I'm like, I don't think these poor Jaguars fans know what's going on. No, I get being confident in your team, but it's almost like they're trying to show Kansas City how many more fans they have than them. And it's like, Jacksonville, no offense, but it's not even close. It's like, what are you guys trying to prove here? That you guys have as big a fandom as the goddamn Chiefs? I'm sorry, but you don't yet. You've been good for a year again. For 6 months, actually, let's be honest. If the Kansas City Chiefs did a goddamn send-off like that, I don't even know what it would look like. A goddamn, I don't even know. I really like that. I like that the Jaguars are confident that they're feeling themselves. But what are they trying to prove? It's just like, are you guys trying to like be like, we have just as big a fan base as you do. We're used to the noise. We can handle it. All right, well, let's find out. I mean, we'll find out tomorrow afternoon. But it's just like, boy, if you guys don't make some noise, if you guys get drowned out by these goddamn Chiefs fans, it's gonna be embarrassing. That's all I have to say. And that's the thing, like most Jaguars, I don't really know, like I don't have a problem with Jags fans, but I'm like, if they win this game, are they going to get annoying? And do I only think Jags fans are annoying because like, I'm like, oh no, they're going to turn back into that 2017-18 version of themselves that talked a whole lot of shit at me, and I don't like them people. You got to remember, I have a bad taste in my mouth from Jacksonville fans. So maybe I'm just like, oh, fuck these people and their Duval shit. Duval, lose another big game. Choke again. You're offside. Somebody was down. Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to hit the ring around. Like, because Kansas City's been kind of like weirdly getting disrespected all week. And I'm like, they're going to come out and put the fucking beat down on these guys. If they can, they're going to. But more than likely, it'll be a lot like their first game. You guys ready to hop in, actually? I think that's a good jumping off point, a good transition area. The first game of the weekend, it'll be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on NBC, Peacock, Universal, if you watch stuff in Spanish. That'd probably be pretty fucking exciting to watch a game in Spanish, actually. You know how fucking cool that would probably be? It'd be like, oh, well, most of the words are said in English because, they don't have words for... like that all in Spanish. Oh, they might act. Anyway, the Chiefs are favored by 8.5. That's crazy. With an over-under of 52.5. 97% of the experts are on the Chiefs, and not a single one of them have the Jaguars on this first page here. Boy, the Jaguars don't have a lot of love. Spanish games are always hilarious. Yeah, because they have more fun, dude. They're having fun and shit. Goal! Yeah, the long goal in the Spanish. Bro, what's up, Max? How's it going, man? Atlanta could be hosting a conference game for the first time since... Yeah. I mean, it's very possible. You know what I don't like? That everybody keeps saying the NFL's like hiding in plain sight that they're about to start doing a like an every year neutral site because they're like happy with the ticket sales. NFL is always going to brag about their goddamn tickets. It's people. Hey, by the way, thank you for the 9 likes, everybody. We're off to a good start. If you haven't left one, consider dropping one. It'll help the stream out. Again, this only happened because like an extreme situation. I highly doubt that they'll ever let this happen again. The home field advantaging and just changing everything and just like modifying how football has worked for 70 years. Probably not going to. I appreciate you, Adam. What's going on? What's going on, man? I don't really see them changing the playoffs to forever be like this. They could, but like, boy, oh boy, does that make getting the 1 seed completely irrelevant. Like 100% irrelevant. And that's not good to do. So they're not going to do that, by the way. That completely removes all competition to get a top seed. Just win your division and then just stop trying. It's like, all right, well, that's a way to kill out 4 weeks of your fucking season, retards. Don't do that. So guess what? They'll never do that. The idea that they're going to switch full time to like a neutral site fucking conference championship is stupid because that's going to kill 4 games. Literally, as soon as a team wins their division, they're done. There's no, what does it matter if you have the 2, the 3, or the 4? 2 of your games are probably going to be at home. Maybe one of them will be on the, like it's not that big a deal. And then the other is like a fuck half. It'd be 1-1 and then like neutral site. Wow, that's tough. Or home neutral site. Wow, that's a lot to fucking risk injury for, you know? What do we get if we're the 1 seed? A pat on the back. You get 1 week off. Whoa. I could have just rested for 3 weeks there because we haven't needed to play any serious football. We've been resting for 3 weeks. The fuck is that? What? You know what I mean? Like, it eliminates competition. Because, again, as soon as you'd win your division and have one of those 4, what does it matter? Like, if they go to a neutral seed, they don't want to do that with competition. They desperately want competition through 18 weeks of the season. The thing that happened at the end of this year, them having like 5 or 6 games that actually mattered. I think it was 8. There was like literally 8 teams fighting for the final 2 playoff spots in week 18. That is what they want every single year because that's maximum amount of competition. That is the reason every team plays the division rival in the final week of the season. That is why you only play division games the last like 2 weeks of the season. So you like bad teams have something to play for. Like there's a reason they do certain things for competition. They're not just gonna get rid of the 1 seed competition. That is insane to do. Yeah, they literally just have to stack all fucking 6 division games at the end of the season to keep the fucking teams competitive, and be like, oh, this is a slick thing we're doing, and that's shitty and boring. Like like changing from the conference championship being at it, like this is a one-time thing because poor Damar Hamlin almost passed away. They'll never do this again. Again, they'll never do. Everyone's like, but they're talking about how much the tickets sold and how much money they made. Yeah, it's the NFL. They always they flex their dick every chance they get. They put out press releases if they hit fucking a new TV broadcasting record. We hit 29.81 million viewers. We broke our old record. And it's like, who are you competing against? Who the fuck are you people competing against? Ourselves. It's like, all right, calm the fuck down, Goodell. Jesus Christ. We know you guys are doing good again. Apparently the conservatives aren't boycotting the NFL anymore. I guess we got the numbers back up. I don't know what happened, but I guess you guys are all good now. All right, let's jump into this game here. Sorry to go on that rant, but that shit has been bothering me all day. Like, it's deeply bothering me that these stupid NFL media people are like, they're gonna make it every year that like this. No, they're not. Why in the world would they do that? Number one, why would the owners ever agree to that? They're never going to agree to that. And then you have to run that by the fucking Players Association if you're gonna make a full change, like a rule change like that. Oh yeah, the players aren't going to agree to that. So there's 2 things you have to get by: the owners and the player mutiny if you fucking do change that, because that 1 seed is very important to every single player too. You may just, you don't understand. There's bragging rights, contract rights, like there's probably actually bonuses in some guys' contracts if they get the 1 seed. Like no. Yeah, the NFL, well, that's what the purpose is of the NFL media. They're supposed to make it a little bit more entertaining, but it's like, man, that's such a bullshit reading. All right, so Chiefs and Jaguars. All right, the way I'm looking at this game, right? So I have to I take 2 things into mind when I'm looking at this one, right? The Jaguars are playing white hot football, and the Chiefs are playing really great football all year. They haven't really been bad. They've had a couple weird games, but even then it's like, they always lose to the Colts for some reason. I don't know why that is. You can't really count that game. They always play close, weird games with Denver, and the Raiders always kind of nip at their heels. So can't really take those 2 things that serious. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a given with division games. Then I want to also look at the Jaguars and how they won that last. What's up, Amir? How's it going, man? I have to look at the last game the Jaguars just won. I'll read a couple things. You'd have to keep all the division game. Yeah, yep. All right. Agreed, Adam. Yep. Going all right. Crazy that Brock Purdy. Yeah, it's crazy that Purdy literally might be starting an NFC title game. Damn Goldilocks is salty. Adam. Wish you guys had the home playoff game. That'd be fun. But anyway, so I'm thinking of this game Good. I hope Jags. Yeah, like the thing is, I hope Jags win, but I'm also wondering, is the only reason they what's up, James? Pretty number one QBR last 7 weeks. Hell yeah, he's been. The 49ers shit the bed with Lance, just what we expected. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's probably going to have to get traded off. But with the Jaguars, I'm wondering, did they win that game because they were able to like stomach a bad start and just kind of flip their fortunes? Or are we looking at a situation where the Chargers literally just shit the bed? If they'd have made that field goal, the Chargers win the game, by the way. Like that's exactly where this game sat at, is a missed field goal is how the Jaguars win. And I wonder, does that mean is that a game the Jaguars won or the Chargers lost? Again, great comeback, great effort, great fucking spirit, great fight by Trevor Lawrence. You like to see that in a playoff game. Very clutch, very resilient performance by the defense, by the offense. But then again, what was that by the Chargers in the second half? Like I genuinely have never seen, like, not since the Super Bowl in 2017 have I not seen a team just go, we don't even care anymore. What do you mean you don't care? We're just done. We want to go home. What do you mean by going home? We win, right? No, you didn't win. What? And then they're like, fuck, we lost the game. It's just like, what was that attitude, Chargers? Yeah, just whatever. Loser to care. It's almost like, you know that kid in gym class that's like really good at sports, but like for some reason he just thinks it's really gay and cringe to try hard. That's what it feels like the Chargers did in that game. They're like, they showed off how cool and athletic they were. Then they're like, I don't fucking care. That's gay. Like, you don't want to like run for a first down? No, that's fucking cringe. I don't want to try hard. Why? It's like, that's the attitude I got. I don't know what the hell happened. I even called. Yeah, we like the whole stream. We're like, the Chargers are gonna blow this game. It was the weirdest energy I've ever seen from a football team. It's like, this is the most uneasy 27 or 20-0 lead I've ever seen. Then 27-7. I was like, this feels. How can a game be at 27-7 and it feel not that great? That's when you knew things were weird with that one. But so I wonder again, the Jaguars, good team, but if the Chargers don't implode dramatically, do they come back and win that game? And say a similar bad start for the Jaguars happens here, because again, the Jaguars are a little bit better in the second half than they are in the first half. That's kind of been their MO this year. They're a second half football team. The issue is, if the Jaguars get down by 14 points. Do we see Kansas City doing that? Just completely imploding. This is like just going, just losing the game completely, blowing a double score digit lead, and it's like I don't think so. That's kind of where I stand. I'm like, it's just a team that made that many mistakes. 5, 6. They had 5 turnovers. They were letting fucking the Chargers kind of just move the ball at will. Really, it was. And the Chiefs aren't going to come out and make any real mistakes on offense. They're just not going to. They're not going to throw picks. Well, Mahomes might throw a couple picks, but it's like, one of the things I will say about the Chiefs defense that's actually kind of an underrated statistic, kind of an underrated thing about their defense. They play much better off turnovers. If their offense for some reason turns the ball over, the Chiefs defense gets a stop. Like, I think it's one of the better off a turnover defenses in the NFL. So that's another like really thing to keep your eye on. The Chiefs are very hard to score on when they do turn the ball over. Smart is going to have some crazy plays. Yeah, Peterson's going to keep him in the game, I would imagine. And I think this game is going to be the 8.5 point spread seems like really crazy. It seems wildly disrespectful to the Jaguars. It's just like, well, I don't know. What was the earlier? The earlier game was very close. The Jaguars almost pulled it off, and they weren't even nearly as good. I see this as like a 24-28 type game, 28-24 Chiefs win. And it's like a real weird dogfight the entire way through, where the Jaguars maybe lead for a good chunk of the game, like from the second to like the beginning of the fourth-ish. Jacksonville is capable to beat anybody, but the Chiefs' firepower is a cause that will burn you. And I think one of the bigger problems for the Jaguars, they're a very young defense, aren't they? And they're going up against arguably the most playoff experienced team in football right now, left in the playoffs anyway. I would say that this game could be very, very weird for the Jaguars. Again, they're going to put up a hell of a fight, and I think they're going to dogfight their way through it. They're not an easy beat. Peterson's too good of a coach to go down like that, but boy, oh boy. I'm just having to. It's one of them things where I'm like, I can't see the outcome without the Chiefs winning. And it's just like, oh, that sucks. That's very unfortunate. Because I would really like to see it the other way. All right, we done with this game? Anybody got any final thoughts here? I think we talked it to death. Yeah, that's another thing. The Trevor Lawrence is like 37-0 on Saturdays dating back to high school. High school, college, and in the NFL, he's never lost on Saturday. Another little fun fact, Doug Peterson is like 2-0 or 3-0 or 4-0. One of those three records on Saturdays himself. Yep, Doug P has never lost on Saturday either as a coach. There's something fun to think about. Dougie Saturday, as they call him. Adam's like, damn, those are crazy stats. It'd be a damn shame if, somebody spilled ketchup on him. Like, weird-ass Chiefs fans threatening people with fucking ketchup. All right, anyway, let's move on from this asinine game and go on to the a pretty good game, division rivalry game coming up here. It'll be the Giants taking on the Eagles, 8:15 Eastern Standard on Fox Sports, Fox Deportes. Eagles are 7.5-point favorites with an over-under of 48.5, so that's quite the big line. Eagles are favored by 89% of the experts with 11% on the Giants, with just a couple people on this expert picks page picking on the Giants. You'll be listening. Well, I'll be watching your guys' game. I'll be doing the Jaguars and the Chiefs tomorrow afternoon. Probably going to let Amir just do the Giants and Eagles, so we'll probably not cover the night game. But then we'll do both games tomorrow. The Bengals and Bills, Cowboys, Niners. Little scheduling update. And also because I don't really want to I don't like covering Giants games because there's like 9,000 fucking Giants channels and it's not really fun to try to compete against them people. What up, Rob? Anyway, so with this game, it's been good, man. How's your day been? You going to a hockey game? Oh, that'd be fun. Hopefully it's a good game. This game feels I'm pretty confident the Eagles are going to win this game. I don't know. The Eagles feel like they're going to be at their healthiest they've been in a few weeks. They should be pretty well put together, but I'm worried a little bit about rust on Jalen Hurts. I wonder what that's going to look like. But he should be rared up and ready to go by now. I mean, it's weird because the Eagles blew them out in week 1, and then the Eagles played their backup squad and nearly lost. I mean, they didn't really look the greatest, but it's like, yeah, and it's like, did the Giants really lose 3 times to the Eagles this year? Or did the Giants get the crazy upset by winning the 1 of 3? Isaiah Hodge couldn't get on the field for the Bills, but he's crushing his role on the Giants. Yeah, that's crazy, Michael. It's nice to see that from Hodge. He had a big game. Turned out he had he was like basically one of the reasons they were able to win that game over the Vikings. Just decided to have a random breakout game, so that could be huge. could kind of hurt the Eagles. But again, one of the things the Eagles can actually do pretty well is shut down the pass. One of the things that might hurt the Eagles in this game is the run game of the Giants. And but they do have an Achilles heel with that Eagles defense. They are oftentimes very bad against the run. If their defense is having a bad run day, yeah, but go look at their run defense. It's one of them things where you're like, I didn't know it was like that with the Eagles run defense. What the fuck? But it's also like, was that early season woes, and they kind of shorted up at the end of the season with the people they traded for. Yeah, it's literally the one way you can hurt them is running the ball. And one of the things the Giants do pretty well is run the football with Daniel Jones, whether it be with Barkley. I think even their backup running back can scoot around pretty good. Giants Chiefs Super Bowl. That'd be pretty crazy. Oh, Adam, you don't want that shit, by the way. Adam, you do not want the... By the way, I will say one thing. I also have been picking against the Giants, and every time I do, they win. So how you want to look at that? And I can even point out that that's happening, and it seems to just not mess it up. So you're welcome, Giants fans. Is going to be stop Barkley, and if it is, though, will that burn them with Hodge and like it did against the Vikings? The Vikings tried to just stop Barkley, and boy, did that fucking backfire. We'll see. But yeah, Adam, you don't want to face the Giants in the Super Bowl, man. Let me tell you. Crazy things happen when them fucking idiots jump up into a Super Bowl. When they throw their blue-ass jerseys on and wear them blue-ass red-striped helmets. Hey, my name's Eli Manning. Yeah. Football. Trying to get the football team. Adam, I'm telling you, you don't want that team to face your team in a Super Bowl. You don't want to have to deal with every time you see a Giants fan for the rest of your life, them looking at you going, hey, remember when you were way better than us? And it's like, oh no. Just be happy that if you do play them and lose, you weren't 17-0. Just be very happy you're not undefeated and looking down a possible facing of this goddamn Goliath team. They summon the ghost of Lawrence Taylor and it's game over. Kayvon Thibodeau or Dexter Lawrence has been infected. They might both be. I don't know what to tell you. I almost might switch my pick right now. I'm like half tempted to. I'm like in my heart, I'm like, oh, I haven't given a single fucking reason the Eagles are going to win this game. Nah, you know what? I think I'm being fooled by the Giants offense. I think I'm being fooled here. It's like a mirage effect after you play the Vikings. I'm going to stick with the Eagles. I don't know if what we've seen from the Giants was for real or not. I think what happened is they ran into arguably like the 30th ranked defense in football. I think they might be. Like overall, literally the 30th. And I don't even know how. Their offense was so good, but that defense was so bad. I can't believe that that's actually what the Giants offense is going to look like. Again, it's very easy to beat up on Minnesota. Mac Jones threw for like 400 yards against them, with Matt Patricia calling plays. Like the Patriots look so good against the Vikings. A number of Patriots fans thought maybe Matt Patricia's good now. Like whenever I played a team and I thought, wow, Matt Patricia looks good now, I'm like, oh, their defense must be fucking garbage. So again, I think the Giants keep it close. More like it'll be more like the second game. But I have a feeling the Eagles didn't try as hard either in that game. And I also think that Giants fans might be overranking that. They're like, we almost beat them with our backups. Yeah, but I mean, how hard did they really try with knowing that they're playing your backups? What do you think? They gave it 150, 160% against you guys? Do you think they were out there doing what they did in that first game effort against you guys? Where they won 48-20 without even like trying? Was that over in the first quarter? It was like 35-0 in quarter one. I was like, Jesus Christ. Which one is it? I'm guessing it's somewhere in the middle, and that still means the Eagles win. I don't see it being that, like, I don't see it as like the Giants winning with like complete backups against like that team if they were trying. If both teams are trying their best, you know. Again, I like what the Giants did, and I like that they were able to do that in the playoffs, and it seems to point to a very, very bright future for the Giants. But I think there's a little bit, again, of a mirage thing going on, you know, where people are looking at the Giants' offense and thinking it's way better than it is because of who they just went up against, especially the receiving situation for the Giants. Now they're going against the real secondary. Let's see if there's actually something there. Yeah, and again, like, what are you going to do with their offense? Like Adam said, their offense is healthy. The Eagles are, like, they had the week off. They should be good to go. Good luck to the Giants. I hope they win. I hope they get the upset. But man, I wish they would have played anybody but Minnesota and beat them like that. If they would have like literally played anybody else and beat them like that, it would have been like, oh yeah, no, okay, the Giants are for real. But it's so hard to take serious that win by a team like. It's like, yeah, I mean, the Patriots offense looked goddamn unreal against the Vikings. Tony Kadarius? Didn't like being on the Giants. It just didn't work. Just wasn't working. Sometimes it's okay to admit, hey, it's just, we shouldn't have, this just isn't working. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think Tooney would have ever played. I think he just would have kept saying, he just wouldn't have tried to he would have, yeah. Giants should. Yeah, your Giants should be drafting a receiver. Like, yeah, that's literally the only thing they should be focusing on in the future. Yeah, we got to sign some receivers, and you know what's going to really piss them off, though, is if they cut Kenny Golladay, and Golladay goes to a new team and balls the fuck out. You guys know that's what's going to happen to them, right? Like, Galladay's just going to revert back to somehow being a Pro Bowler, and it's going to be the funniest fucking thing on earth. I don't think Daniel Jones has the arm to work with Kenny Golladay. You have to be able to throw fucking piss missiles to work Kenny Golladay, right? Because, again, he's a possession 50-50 guy. Like, you need, like, a Matt Stafford to make Golladay work. You need, like Mahomes. Like, he'd be great for Mahomes. Like, unironically, go throw that fucking dude in Kansas City. That is a nasty target. Like big arm QBs, he'd work really good out in with Herbert. But again, I don't think Jones has the arm to work with Golladay. Or again, I would like him in New England, but Mac, I don't think has the arm power either. All right, let's move on to the game that everybody's probably the most excited about. Yeah, it would have been cool to see this happen in the regular season. But we'll try it again. This time we're going to move it all the way over to Buffalo to see if playing on a different field prevents similar results. Anyway, it'll be the Bengals taking on the Bills, round 2. Electric Boogaloo. Hopefully no one needs a defib or two. I ran out of rhymes, and I had to really stretch it there. I can only do that because he's okay and going to be able to play football again. Otherwise, I'd never make those jokes. I hope we're all aware of that. Like, the only reason you can make any DeMar Hamlin jokes is because he's going to play next season. Otherwise, it'd be, yeah, I never would be okay with that. Bills are favored by 5.5 with an over-under of 49.5. And the Bills are 66% picked by the experts here, but there's a healthy mix of Bills and Bengals on this top experts page. So, what are we thinking? Golladay is toast. He'll be in his 7th year next season. Yeah, I mean, he is also getting old too. So, but the thing with Golladay, he's never really been like a downfield, like vertical guy. He's always been like a 50-50 guy. So if you get a quarterback who's good at 50-50, throws it hard, then he should be all right. Should be able to use him in the slot. Still taking the Bengals. I trust Joe Burrow, maybe more with his decision making. Here's a couple things I want to look at with this with this game. I think these two teams have very similar premises, right? Where I think they have very good offenses, led by dynamic quarterbacks with very big playmaking receivers. The Bengals have a lot better run game, but the Bills have a lot better coaching. So you have to look at those two things. So, like, that's how this is kind of starting to break down right now. You have to kind of keep all those things in mind. They're very similar football. They're very similar. Then you can also look at the defenses right now and go, well, which defense is better? Definitely the Bills. They're at least playing better right now. I think they done fucked up this time. William Hill teaser card equal Jacks 15.5 and over. New York Giants plus 13.5 and over. Holy crap. That sounds like a... Jesus, why are they giving those out? They must really think blowouts are happening this weekend. The Bengals did lose 2 linemen, so that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, I would... Yeah, I see that too, Nuclear. I see all these games as close. I don't see I don't see a blowout in any of these games. The only one that would make me nervous is that goddamn Jags-Chiefs game. Giants walk down water. Yeah, that was kind of my argument there, basically, last week with the Giants. I'd take McDermott over Taylor. I'd take Bills defense over Bengals defense, but the Bengals have had a better receiving corps and they didn't turn the ball over. Well, I would actually take the Bengals defense over the Bills. The Bills just gave up fucking 30 points to Skylar Thompson. They didn't have a super teaser card for a damn... Yeah, I would imagine why, Nuclear. But, so I kind of look at, like, that situation, and I'm a little bit skeeved out. I'm like, man, that's very telling to give up 30 to a goddamn... I know you just played them and everything. That seems like a lot of points. That's a lot of points to give up to that guy. And again, the Bills kept making mistakes, man. What'd they turn the ball over 3 times? Weather looks wide open. Weather looks good. Both teams are going to want the Super Bowl. Both teams are going to be like... in a similar mindset. I think the Bills or the Bengals are going to have a slightly bigger chip on their shoulder in this one. I feel like they're way more pissed off going into this than the Bills are. Also, when they played earlier in the regular season, let us not forget what that game looked like it was going to turn into. The Bengals came out and looked like they were about to beat the dog shit out of the Bills. Let's not pussyfoot around what was about to happen in that football game. Again, remember what Bills fans and Bills players have kind of been hinting, like the only reason they didn't go to the Super Bowl last year was because of the Chiefs game. And they just kind of take it as assumed fact that they would have beat the Bengals. You know why that they came out like that, right? You do know that that's been a narrative by Bengals fans and players and coaches that the only reason they didn't get a chance to go to the Super Bowl was because of that overtime thing. Like they almost think like, no, we would have beat the Bengals. What the fuck? Like we got cheaped out by a bad rule. If we would have got the ball, we could have done something in overtime too, and like we would have beat them guys. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. So the Bengals have, like, you got to remember, the Bengals have been kind of othered and like pushed like aside for like these Bills. And I really like a team when they have something like outside of just a game to play for. Remember, the Bills fans, Bills players have basically implied that game against the Chiefs last year was the real AFC Championship game, and they would have walked through the Bengals. Like, they would have fucking gone through and beat the shit out of them losers, is basically what they imply. Because go ask a Bills fan. If you ask them, they'll tell you that they would have gone to the Super Bowl if they would have beat the Chiefs. There's literally zero question in their minds. They would have gone to the Super Bowl. Yeah, we would have beat the Bengals. What the fuck? We would have killed them. Bills were about to get worked. I bet the Bills. Yeah, I'm glad you were, dude. Bengals were about to fucking whoop their ass, dude. So that's why I'm going Bengals. Again, the Bills have been not holding out. They've been playing kind of sloppy offensive football the last few weeks. Again, Allen got sacked 7 times and fumbled 3 times, and I think he got almost picked. He's been throwing end zone interceptions all season, like red zone interceptions. Sorry. The Bengals don't make mistakes. Like they just don't. Unless you like strip the ball out of one of their hands, they don't fuck up, and they get really good in the playoffs too. I'm gonna have to take the Bengals here. It feels like they just want to just destroy this football team. In my opinion, that's what it feels like. Deep in my chest, that's what it feels like. It feels like we're getting Bengals Chiefs for an AFC title game again. Mainly because it's like, yeah, I know the Bills have a lot to play for, like the pride and getting back to the title game and DeMar Hamlin. Boy, I wouldn't want to run into a team that really does not like you. And again, not your fault for the season, but boy, oh boy, did the Bengals sure get the raw end of the deal on this one. Again, you got to remember, the Bengals feel like they got completely fucked by the NFL over this DeMar Hamlin situation. That's how they feel as a team, as a franchise, as a fan base. That chip can be all you need to get pushed to push a great team like the Bengals over that edge, to give them like that fucking like weird craze, that like that little edge, that little are incredible at second quarter adjustments. They're mid in the first quarter, but top 5 and yeah, I mean they almost gave that game up to Miami in the second half. Not against Miami, they weren't. They got worse as the game progressed against the Dolphins. Primarily because their offense was doing like weird like setting them up on short fields. And again, the Bills offense was not putting the Bills defense in very good spots in that last game against Miami. Will they be a little bit sharper against the Bengals? Hopefully. Yeah, again, yeah, Michael, you got to remember, if Tua plays in that game against the Bills, and arguably, if Waddle catches 2 of those passes and fucking Hill catches those 3 catches that probably go for touchdowns, we're looking at Skylar Thompson versus Kyler versus Patrick Mahomes this weekend. And that's facts. That's 100% guaranteed. That's what would have happened. If those 3 passes get completed, Dolphins probably win that game. 2 of those go for immediate touchdowns to Waddle. He was wide open in 2 of them. One of them he was going to get tackled, but 2 of them, the Hill one and the Waddle one, for one of those, yeah, 2 of them go for touchdowns. That's 14 extra points. Bills didn't have that. You got to remember, man, it's like the Bills didn't comfortably win that foot. They almost lost. Yeah, I do understand that, but like there was at least defense played. You don't like that one of those to Waddle, man. There was nobody on him. It was like one of those things where like it hit him in the hands and it just popped out, and it was like. And Hill had his classic. Hill always drops like a fucking wide open pass. I don't know what that is. I think he chokes. I genuinely, because he did it in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. Remember when the wide open one where he's just running down the field and he just doesn't catch it. It's like, dude, you would have scored, Jalen. What are you doing? It's just like his mentor Hill. Like remember in the Super Bowl, somehow Tyreek Hill gets wide open in the end zone, like 40 yards downfield. And Patrick Mahomes is about to get sacked, and that shitlord jumps sideways in the air. He's literally sideways. Remember the perpendicular throw with Hill. You got to remember the Mahomes perpendicular throw. He throws it sideways like this somehow, flicks it 40 yards down the field. And this is where I went, all right, he does got the best arm in league history. I'm over this debate. And he hits Hill right here. I'm talking perfect throw. Hit him right in the chest, and Hill dropped it. Hill always just has a weird drop where it's like, dog, a 15-year-old would have caught that ball. What happened? Singletary and Cook got any carries. They rely on Josh Allen to do too much. Yep. Magnic loves Joe Burrow is on this year's Mark Lawrence playbook. Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence were on it the year before, and you see what happened there. Mark Lawrence playbook. I just did a lot of talking there. I just realized I'm fucking motor mouthing. I'm just fucking. As you can tell, I've thought a lot about these games. Like, there's a bunch more I want to talk about with this Bills game, but I'm like, how deep do we want to go into this? Again, one of the major concerns I would say for these Buffalo Bills, their secondary. Again, I hate doing that. And it feels like I'm picking on them. But again, I'm not trying to. Again, it has nothing to do with DeMar Hamlin's injury. The Bible for NFL college betting. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into what that is. You're talking less to Cowboys fans. I mean, Bengals didn't look great either, but the Ravens defense did get better with Ravens defense, like a top 5, top 10 unit by the end of the season. I think they were number 9 overall by the end of the year, so that's a whole different ball game. Bills just, but their secondary is particularly troubling. There was a number of times again when fucking Waddle and Hill were wide open. People were wide open. They got very, very lucky. The Bills did that. Skylar Thompson cannot make those throws. Like, it's just he's not going to be able to make some of these throws. And maybe that was played into by Buffalo, knowing they could leave guys a little bit wide open. But like, their defense is like, their secondary kind of sucks. Again. All the money is going Bills way. Vegas don't like paying out another team. Reason to go Cincy. Yeah, there you go. Dallas kicker equal liability. Yeah, he is. Hopefully he doesn't have the yips this week, or hopefully he does. But yeah, so I don't know. There's just I would say look out for that. The Bengals secondary or the Bills secondary in this game. Look out for the Bills offensive line or the Bengals offensive line. Bills second. I hate when two teams have the same letter fucking names, dude. It's like why is this? Of all the letters of teams and names that could have played each other, why are Bills and Bengals this? I did it backwards again. I meant to say Bengals and Bills. I'm going to punch something in the stomach and say, if there was a person here, I'd punch him right in the gut. I'm frustrated. I'm flabbergasted. I wonder how many times I messed up saying the two teams, and I'm like, Bengals got Josh Allen and Joe Mixon, and it's like, Jesus. I keep mixing up Bengals versus Bills and keep reversing them in my head, then having to like reset it really quickly, and it's getting on my nerves. We're about to finish up with this one. You might be the only person still playing Warzone, or is it the first one, not the new one? The Dallas kicker was doing a little job for the Rob. Yeah, he just owed some money, But yeah, we'll move on here in a second. Do I have anything left to say about this? I like the Bengals to win. Secondary, I feel like their special teams are pretty much, I'd give it slightly to the Bills. Take Bengals defense. Take Bengals offense right now. Take Bills coaching. Yeah, right now I'm going to have to lean on the Bengals. But this is the game I have absolutely no confidence in. I really... Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I'm probably wrong. I'm going to be honest. Is anybody 100% confident in their pick in this game? That's my genuine question. And looking at this game, is anybody like, oh yeah, I feel very confident that this team's going to win? Last year was all dogs and KC is fave. Oh, in the divisional round? You're 55. Yeah, I'm like 40. like low 40s, maybe high 30s. I'm like, oh boy. I really hope Burrow can pull it off, because I don't really got anybody else that can make the Bills fans upset if they lose. I don't know who they'd be mad if they lost to. They'd be like, it's a good try. Like, damn, we don't got Brady anymore. It's time to take Buffalo out. We got to get these dudes out the playoffs. Now their run's got to end here again. I have nothing to no fallback to ha 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 at the Buffalo Bills. Like maybe if Jimmy G is healthy to go, but I don't got a problem with Jimmy G. Yeah, and I enjoy their playoff heartbreak, Nicholas, as you probably do too as a Dolphins fan. The public seems to be on the Bills, so I'm hoping that's a prey, you know. As Lapaka said, a lot of people are on Buffalo. If they lose in 13 seconds, I'll probably laugh. Imagine they lose in 5 seconds. It'd be pretty crazy. You know, 4 Super Bowls would be 5 seconds or 4 seconds. They lose on the kickoff back. I'd be like, damn. What a way to lose in overtime. Anyway, all right. That's probably all we got to say about that one. All right. So we have Sunday mid-afternoon football. Sunday evening-ish kind of football. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard on Fox Sports, Fox Deportes. The 49ers are 3.5-point favorites with an over-under of 46.5 per FanDuel. Let me close that now. We don't need it. The 49ers are 78% favorites, and 22% of the experts have picked the Cowboys, with the majority of the front page of the top expert pickers on the 49ers. So, how are we feeling on Glock Purdy? I gave up on the Bills in the 90s. I'm not getting stood up twice. Yeah, I feel that, Lapaka. Probably a lot of people are not happy with the Bills and ready to fully trust them yet. Music City Miracle, 4 straight Super Bowls in 13 seconds. Honestly, don't want the Cowboys to win. Yeah, because if the Cowboys win this game, folks, you don't know what we're going to have to deal with. There's going to be a bunch of buck-tooth-ass Texans coming into our streams, screaming, talking shit about beating their goddamn gorilla chess, about fucking all the horse shit that they got going on. It's yeah, we told you. And it's like, oh no. And we're just one step closer to the worst fucking timeline. Them assholes winning a Super Bowl. We desperately need the 49ers and Glock Purdy to be the game's savior. And just eliminate them now. We literally don't want, like, they're bad enough already. They're getting pretty crazy over there in Dallas Cowboys fandom. What's up? Wait, how's it going, boss? It was a long, brutal day. I'm sorry to hear, man. I'm sorry to hear. Hopefully your day gets better, or your tomorrow's better anyway. Dallas is 5 ATS and San Francisco is 12 ATS at home. When I saw these stats, I said, thanks for nothing. Yeah, that's pretty. It's like, damn, I don't know how to pick this one. Fuck. So yeah, I don't know. This game should be really good. All things considered, their defenses are both elite. The Cowboys defense probably should have an answer for what the 49ers do well, which is run the football and have a lot of like quick gadgetry kind of plays. The Cowboys do have a very quick little defense with Micah Parsons being quite the nose to the ground kind of runner, so he should be able to sniff out kind of some of these sneaky little flips to Deebo Samuel or quick passes to Brandon Ayuk or little gadget plays with Christian McCaffrey. So that there is a way that you could see where the Cowboys defense is going to be able to come and do something. Where Cowboys and Giants, yeah, the NFC fucking championship game could be a complete disaster. I got those pesky Niners 27-20. Defense is too much for Dak. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. And then I looked to the Niners defense. Best defense in the NFL this year. Arguably one of those kind of defenses where you can look at it and we'll look back at it and be like, yeah, that probably ranks with all those other ones, right? Like 00, 01, 15. What other years? 85. Like, I'm pretty sure this 49ers defense is up there with those defenses, like where it's like, yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl and it really doesn't matter too much who's playing offense for us. Since he is 12-3-1 ATS versus a team with a winning record, while the Bills are, oh, really? Oh, the fans are going to be brutal then. Yeah, it's going to be awful. Yeah, the fans of the Giants and the Cowboys are going to, That's why I'm hoping the Niners get in, man. And they kind of just shut down this Cowboys offense. Again, the Cowboys played a pretty good defense last week. It's not like they went up against like some scrub-ass Tampa defense that can't do anything. It's like, nah, that's a pretty solid Tampa Bay defense. And Dak had his best career game. Arguably his best ever performance in the NFL came against the Buccaneers that last week. And that's a really good sign for the Cowboys. A really good sign heading up against, I think Tampa was top 10, maybe top 11. So it's not like Dak played a shitty defense and just front ran on like the Minnesota Vikings. No, they beat up a really good defense. And Jacksonville 4-0 ATS, KC is 1-7. Okay. Better leave Dak in the pocket than let him throw. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's basically the way I look at this. Is the Niners will be able to do just enough against this Cowboys defense to get up to like a 21-24 type lead, to get up to 24, where I think the Cowboys will have to do everything in their fucking power to get to 21. That's why I kind of like this as a 24-21 kind of game where the Niners win on their defense. And I think they score on their defense. Like one of the touchdowns comes completely via defensive means. Like it could be a thing where it's like 17-7, fucking 14-17 heading late into the game. Middle of the game kind of score, and the fucking Cowboys just get the ball stripped out and it's 21-17 final. I don't even know if it'd be a pick six. I think it'd be a strip sack. I think that will be a scenario in this game, and I feel it in my heart it'll be like 17-17, and they'll just like it's gonna be a brutal way to lose a game for the Cowboys. If the Cowboys were playing anybody else this weekend, I probably would pick them. I'm not gonna front to you. I was very, very impressed from what I seen from the Cowboys offense. That was very good. Clearly, Mike McCarthy has his fastball back. I don't know if anyone else can sense that, but like Mike McCarthy's coaching the shit out of that football team. Lopaka, yeah. Yeah, I mean, McCarthy winning that game last week saved his job and looked like he got his fastball back, like suddenly understood offense again. Like he just came back. Like it seems like he's come back to life this season. So it's nothing really disrespectful against the Cowboys to not pick them here, and it's not like I'm doubting them like some Cowboys. Again, if you don't pick the Cowboys this week, their fans will come at you and be like, "Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Keep doubting us. Okay. Okay." It's like, dog, if you guys were playing anybody but the Niners, I'd have you go into the NFC title game. Like, it's just like, you drew the short stick this week. You got to play the fucking team that's probably going to win the Super Bowl. You got to go get beat up on and fucking score 7 points against them and lose to a goddamn rookie. It's going to be the most embarrassing thing for the next 3 teams that play this football team. And that's the worst part about it. For the 49, if you lose to the Niners, like that's the most embarrassing shit. They're running out a rookie goddamn quarterback and doing this. They're like, we don't even need much. We just need a guy to throw the ball and not shitty. Like that's all we ask for, and don't get strip sacked. Like that's really all you guys need on offense. Generally in like 14 points, if you can swing it. Nobody likes Cowboys fans. They're very hard to deal with. Dallas fans equal. Let's see how a rookie quarterback plays against the real team. Yeah, Dallas is like, yeah, we're going to take advantage of that rookie. He doesn't stand a chance. It's like, not against our real team. It's like, fuck you guys. What are you, frothing at the mouth to play the rookie? Big bad Dallas, huh? You guys are ready to play that poor rookie? Yeah, we're going to make him know he's a rookie. What if he scores 40 on your fucking defense? Well, then I'll take that back. What's up, Water? How's it going, boss? I don't mind for the most part. I like confident fans, but and again I like the Cowboys fans run around screaming it's our year. But what Nuclear said is the thing I don't like about it. It's like they keep screaming like Purdy's not playing real teams, but it's like he's a fucking rookie. What are you doing? They're like, wait till he plays a real team. Okay, but like again, he's a rookie. I don't know why you guys are acting like he's like some big fucking superstar veteran or something. Yeah, he might have a bad game against you guys. You guys are a good defense. He's a rookie. What are you guys gonna beat your chest and scream in the kid's face for beating him? That'd be really like a weird energy. I'm going good, man. I'm going good. That's what I mean, Vlad. It's like what are they implying? It's like what. Found today that Taco Bell is coming out with Baja. Ew, that's gross. They think 6. Yeah, Vlad. It's yeah. Your birthday's tomorrow? Hell yeah. That sounds good. You excited? You getting anything cool? Dallas doesn't play good on grass. Yeah, Purdy's been playing great, and the system he's in exactly has been great. Kyle Shanahan man, I hate that last name. Shanahan has him in a situation to succeed very well. Try saying Shanahan has in like any kind of way with any words that come after has. Shanahan has 7 or has had. Oh, that gets hard. Age 19 has to treat well. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. I forget if you're still under 21. I forget birthday still means something. You got scouted by the Yankees. Oh, congratulations. Hopefully something goes on with that. The Mountain Dew, not sorry, not Taco Bell. Yeah, but a Mountain Dew hot sauce sounds gross. I don't want anything to do with that. So yeah, I'll probably go Niners here. Mainly because I just think that the 49ers defense will shut down the Cowboys offense, or at least at the very least make it super one-dimensional, and that's not exactly how the Cowboys operate at peak efficiency. They're typically at their best when they can run and pass it, and against the Cowboys, against the 49ers, it's really, you're not running the ball. And I think their offense kind of thrives on being set up off the Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott kind of running it. Dak able to use that to run himself because that takes away the spy. It lets Dak move around a little bit, lets him get that little bit of running in, which really starts to open up the offense because then the spy comes back and then somebody gets open. So like you can see how the Cowboys' entire offensive scheme is built on the run, taking away the spy on Dak, and then Dak starting to move, and then the spy comes back, and now they can throw it because there's like somebody missing in coverage. Which is why you'll typically see a guy like Dalton Schultz and the tight ends get a lot of action in games where they can pull that off. Have you ever noticed that when they really pull off their shit? How much action is Dalton Schultz getting? A lot. Like big ass chunk plays too. I'm talking like 13, 14 yards down the field. And it's like, how is he so wide open? What are they doing to get so open? Why is no one? Because they're hit the spy Dak. Like they got to he's been running for 12 yards apiece. That offense gets really good going when it's like built off of each other really well. And that's something I've kind of looked at. And that's what I noticed in that last game anyway. May not be a regular thing, but that's how I kind of noticed their offense worked. Maybe I'm misseeing it, but if you could take away the run, their offense kind of just gets bottomed out. Or if you take away the pass and then just never let them run it, or just, and don't let the quarterback run it, that fucks them up real bad. Again, they need both for their offense to work correctly. I think the run is way more important, though, so kind of try and kick that out from underneath itself. And again, with Bosa and that defensive front, they could just shut the run down, so... Good luck running it when they don't give a fuck about your, good luck throwing it when they have to like no respect to your run game. It's just like, yeah, we got this game solved. You're going for the Chiefs tomorrow? Fair enough. What else do I got for this game? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think every category. I mean, maybe not number one in every passing category. The Patriots, like, unironically might have them beat in a couple of those. Like, maybe, though. I think someone else has more picks than them. Like, I think turnovers isn't number one for them. But that's a pretty nitpicky category. And I think overall team sacks, they aren't number one for some reason. I think that might be the Patriots. The Patriots have fucking like 900 sacks this year, some crazy number. It's like, what? Whoa. Yeah, the top sacking teams are always like some like teams you just never see coming. It'll be like Seattle and New England and Detroit, and you're like, okay, I guess. And then you'll look and see like 7 guys had 10 sacks, and you're like, what? No, I'm not kidding. I think we're like number 2 in total team sacks this year. Between Uche and Judon, we had like 30 sacks. So you'd have to consider like that's like, I think like fucking 56 is usually right around the league lead. Remember, New England barely gave up 20 a game this year. It's not like they were some shit defense. They just kind of, you know, they got kind of boat raced in like 4 games this year. Everything else was really relatively close. What are you doing on the video? Hey, we're up at 18 likes. I appreciate that. Over 100 views on the VOD tonight, so that's good. Hell yeah. We'll probably stay live for a little while longer here. Just kind of chill, chat about whatever about the games. If you have something you want to talk about relating to the NFL right now, feel free to bring it on up. We're just chit-chatting now. We've gone over the games and... Yeah, I'll always find a way to remind people the Patriots are at the top of the league in some categories. So, I'm contractually obligated. What else we got going on? What else should we think about here? Just trying to look back on some of the games. Think about if there's any small worries. Which game do I feel I'm going to get wrong? The Bengals and the Bills, and probably I hope like something weird in my gut tells me the Giants and Eagles. Like I want to think the Giants win that game. But I'm like, man, I don't know how much stock I could put into that win over the Vikings, you know? Again, I want to be like, oh yeah, let's go fucking Giants. Little, you know, it's hilarious. They're probably not winning the Super Bowl anyway if they got to go play the 49ers. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Go for the funniest option. It's kind of how I view it. I'm like, well, if it's already like a foregone conclusion that these dickheads in San Francisco are going to win the division, you know. No, the way my class on Saturday works, it's like once a month. But I'm gonna be like doing a bunch of stuff during the day. To kind of like, I'm gonna wake up at like 8. I'm gonna still probably wake up and then like jump on my computer and start doing like readings and stuff and get ready for the next week of that class. Use the time that would be allotted to the, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't want to be on too long. I'm gonna get out of here at 11:30 tonight. Because I do plan on doing 2 streams regardless. Like, we're going to do the Jaguars and the Chiefs. We're going to react and cover that game and, like, do a live reaction and hang out and all that. But the Giants and the Eagles, we'll probably not do that one. But once the game goes final, I'll go live. We'll, like, do a hangout, talk about the games for a little while. I might play some video games or something. Might have people come on the stream and just chit-chat for a while about the games. I think that would be pretty fun. And then on Sunday, we'll just do both the games. And then, you know, I'll be like, all right, peace out. And then Monday, it'll be, I don't know. Play video games again or something. Tuesday, you know. And then Thursday, it's weekly update and kind of just restart the schedule all over. All right, Adam, you have a good night, man. I appreciate it. I would love it if the New York Giants sent those assholes packing. Yeah, it would. I think a lot of people... I think this is what people want to see happen this weekend, right? This is my gut feeling on what the public wants, right? I think I'm pretty much in line with what people want. Jags, Giants. I don't know about this game. I genuinely feel like the Bengals and the Bills are split like 50-50. I feel like I feel like a few more people want the Bills, because they kind of like have this like weird soft spot for them after all they've had to go through. So I would say the general public probably wants the Bills to win this one. And then of course the 49ers. Nobody likes the fucking Cowboys. That's probably how how people want these games to play out. So you'd see the Giants play the 49ers and the Bills play the Chiefs. I think that's how people want these conference championships. I think that's kind of like boy, if we could get that, that'd be awesome. That'd be a good time. It's like, yeah, but I don't know. I'd rather, not see the Philly, Minnesota have pissed me off this year, not covering. So yeah, equal Philly can bite and I'd be elated. Yeah, fair enough. I like people's various reasons for not liking a team. Oh shit. Trey Lance apparently took the team, by the way. There's a report going around. Oh no, it's just someone. It's just a rag. Never mind. I thought it was like a real team source. I thought it was like a real like San Francisco thing. Be like, we've received reports that they've officially gone forward with Purdy. It's like, damn. Poor Trey Lance. Is that one of the biggest blunders you guys think in recent draft history? Or is Joe Douglas... Do you guys want to know what Joe Douglas has done? Okay, so let me take you back in time. So jump into this time portal with me. Go all the way back to the year 2017. There's a coach named Matt Nagy and GM known as Ryan Pace. They're hired in as the head coach and GM of the Bears, right? Everybody knows about how that eventually played out with Nagy and Pace and all them and all the terrible decisions they made while running the Chicago Bears together. Yeah, Hurts is probably like 50, 60, 70%, somewhere in that range. So they go for a draft one year, right? It's their first year. I think it's their first draft, maybe their second draft. They kind of blew whatever the first year off. But they have a very difficult option to make while at the top of the draft. They have the options of Mitch Trubisky. Really good. Yeah. Some guy named Deshaun Watson. He turned out to be kind of a creep, so maybe they dodged a long-term bullet there. But boy, they would have won a lot of games with that guy as quarterback for a minute there. Probably could have won a Super Bowl with that defense and Deshaun Watson. That would have been crazy. And then there was like a third guy. Like he really didn't turn out to be much. Patrick Mahomes. They could have drafted him too. And they just, they chose Mitch Trubisky. Now, part of that committee, part of the group of people who are in charge of drafting, I think the head talent scout / assistant GM to Ryan Pace was one guy. Do you know who that guy is? Or was? His name was Joe Douglas. And per his persuasion and influence, did you know the Chicago Bears didn't even have a meeting with Deshaun Watson? Like not like a real actual meeting like you would with anyone else you might draft? Isn't that funny? Joe Douglas. You know who Joe Douglas is? You may be wondering, who the fuck is Joe Douglas and why do we care? Joe Douglas is the current GM of the New York Jets, which is very funny to think about. Now, Joe Douglas was there the year they drafted one Zachariah Wilson. Now, Zachariah Wilson was the bad pick. You could have probably drafted anybody but Trevor Lawrence in that draft and had a playoff team this year. Imagine the Jets if they would have had Justin Fields. Oh, that's a scary looking football team. Holy shit. Imagine if the Jets had Mac Jones. That's way better than what they look this year anyway. Imagine if they had Trey Lance even. Anybody but Zach Wilson. And you know who is solely responsible for that pick to the point where he threw his major influence behind that pick? What's up, Jacob? Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas, in his career, has been a very good free agent signer and honestly, a very good drafter for the New York Jets. But we can never let a man who has done this in his life, who has made arguably two of the craziest quarterback blunders I've ever seen in my entire life. He drafted Trubisky over Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes, or at least was responsible, very largely responsible for it. And then he drafted Zach Wilson over everybody else he could have drafted. Yeah, exactly. That's the same here, Nukio. That's the biggest thing that scares me about the Jaguars is if they make any kind of mistake, Kansas City's going to capitalize on it, and they won't blow the game. They won't self-sabotage and just give up a huge lead. Joe Douglas is probably got two of the craziest quarterback situations I've ever seen a guy pull off. And I don't even know how that's possible. Two of the largest busts in the last 5 years have come from fucking Joe Douglas. I guess 7 years. I'll make it 6, 7. I'll do 10. In the last decade, this dude has been responsible for the 2 quarterback busts. How is that even? How do you have them kind of numbers as Joe Douglas? How you're like, all right, franchise quarterback time. 0 for 1. All right, that happens. All right, he was one of the biggest busts ever at a top 1 or 2 pick. All right, fair enough. Can't do that again. Can't get much worse than Mitch. If this kid could play like Mitch, we'd win a lot of games. Son of a fucking bitch. The thing is, the Jets have a built football team. And the fucking Chicago Bears had a good football team to plug a young quarterback into at that point. That's the funniest thing about this whole situation with Douglas. All he had to do was just kind of sit back and be patient and grab the right guy. And he fucking swung wildly and missed, drafting the 2 biggest busts in league history in the last 10 years, arguably at the quarterback position. And in Mitch Trubisky, I mean, Mitch only on account of where he got drafted is a bust, and it's a huge one. And Zach Wilson's just a fucking huge miss. He's like the Mormon Ryan Leaf. So you know what I mean? Like, that's bad, man. That's a bad reputation. Like, he shouldn't be allowed to draft quarterbacks anymore. If I was the owner, I'd be like, listen, man, you passed on too many good players. Now imagine if Fields or Mac Jones turn into Pro Bowlers this year. Oh boy, that's bad. Imagine Trey Lance gets traded somewhere and becomes a really good starter too. That would be 3 guys drafted under Lawrence that are playing as starters in the league. Like, that's... I'd fire Douglas if I was the owner. I'd be like, listen, man, dude, how did you miss every single one? How did you pick the only bad quarterback in that draft? Could you imagine out of those quarterbacks, you know, the Lawrence, Mac, Fields, Lance, and Wilson class, those 5 guys? Can you imagine if like 4 of them became really good starters and the only one who was bad was Zach Wilson, and you could have drafted 90% of them? And you picked the only shitty guy? It's like, yeah, he's just the anti-quarterback whisperer. Like, honestly, you can't do much worse than that. Like, you really can't. The dude can draft defense, I guess. He knows what that looks like, but everything else is just a fucking mystery to him. He's like, I don't know. Zach looks cool. It doesn't mean that. Yeah, he just looks kind of. So does Trey Lance. Yeah, it's just, Zach, he looks cool. Can't put my finger on it. It's like he'd fuck my grandma, Like, he's cool. Like, is that your barometer of what a cool guy is? Yeah, my grandma doesn't fuck losers, dude. The fuck? What, you think my grandma's a fucking loser? Gives it up to fucking nerds? He probably was hoping for that. So have you guys heard, speaking of Zach Wilson and dates, Jim Irsay, good transition. We found out why Josh McDaniels didn't take that job. with the Colts. Because old Jim Irsay kept going to the bathroom for weird long periods of varying time and then coming back with a lot of energy is what if I read that correctly. And these fucking losers that run the Pat McAfee show, and I only say that because of how much fucking horseshit coverage they gave this story. Oh boy, did they get out there and try and suck the dick of Irsay on this one. Yeah, I'm sure he had to shit a lot, Pat. Yeah, that's what it was. He's old, he had to shit a lot. No, you mean a guy who has like a bad addiction or a pretty noted problem with drugs in the past? Not really a problem when you're a billionaire. He just did drugs. But he was addicted to like snorting drugs. He was running into the bathroom a lot. Now, I'm sure the McDaniels aren't retarded people. But it kind of sounds like during the meeting, dipshit Irsay kept running into the bathroom, snorting lines of whatever he was into that day. It could have been some uppers, could have been downers. Who really knows with that guy? It could have been both in a big old combo. That guy is a crazy man. I doubt he was taking shits. It's all alleged, but I'm willing to bet if that story's true, he was doing drugs in the bathroom and kept snorting them and then coming out and talking about Colts football and running back into the bathroom, snorting more drugs, coming back out and doing that over and over. And then after they departed, Josh McDaniels' wife was like, you don't need to go fucking play there. Let's not do this. And they went, yeah, let's just stay in New England. That's why he stayed, by the way, because of that idiot probably having a terrible, just sniffing drugs in the bathroom for the entire meeting, apparently. And people in India are being like, no, he was just he had a bad, he's old. He had to shit a lot. Uh-huh. Why are you breathing in so deep? Why do you sound like you huffing your shit smells? What's that noise? Why if you're shitting, why do you keep like sniffling? Smells good in here. You never smelled the rich guy shit before? Smells like dandelions and kumquat. What the? Ugh. Are you okay? Kind of also smells a little bit like gasoline for some reason. I'm really good gasoline. Jesus Christ. Your house smells like gasoline. I gotta get out of here. And then his wife was like, yeah, you're not playing for that. Let's not do all that. And that's why the Colts are a fucking dumpster fire, because the owner does way too many drugs. I support him, and I think he's cool for doing that. Especially at his old ass age. He probably shouldn't be fucking around anymore. But hey, I don't know. When you're rich, you can do whatever you want. But he's clearly the reason that team's never going to be any better until they let him go. I don't know what they keep doing. This fucking drug addict is just barking out orders and getting rid of players, and no idea. It's kind of like Hitler at the end there. Like everything was pretty efficient when Irsay's like in control and not whacked out of his gourd. But as soon as he's whacked out of his gourd, it's like, oh, there goes all the efficiency. It's like, oh, there goes all the good ideas. Now it's just like a fucking barking order from a madman. So if I go get Matt Ryan, sit Matt Ryan, play Matt Ryan again, play this guy, play that guy. It's just like, all right, Jim, maybe you step away from all the day-to-day decisions of football. That might be a good idea for you, huh? I hope he's off the shit now, because that's an old story. Sure, now he's sober, maybe. All right. But again, like I said, though, when you're rich like him, I don't think it's really considered a drug problem. It's just, he does drugs. That's who Jim Irsay is. It's just like, yeah, but when you got like tens of billions, I don't think anyone can really say much to you. Well, that's because Jerry Jones is just old. He's just getting too old. And like, let's be honest, if they win one more Super Bowl, he'll be gone. I'm pretty sure he'll just step away at that point. He'll be like, all right, I'm good now. Just some creepy. All right, I think I've had enough. And then his fucking weird son takes over. Kind of like how when Kraft steps away. Can you imagine like being the son that just was like, I'm gonna get as close as I can to my dad so I could take over the team? Like all your brothers are like, man, fuck that guy. What? How did he win? It's bullshit. Look at him and be like, fuck you guys. How's that feel? Just be awkward though, because it'd be like, well, once he dies, what do you do? Shit. This is a tense situation. But I think he's only got the one son, so, you know, or at least the one son he cares about. Everyone else is taking a back seat. Kraft family owns Raytheon. It's worth much more than the Patriots. You know. Yeah. Is it Raytheon? I thought they owned a paper company, or like an investment firm, or like a holdings company or some fucking weird shit. Are they like the company that like finances Raytheon? Everyone thinks it's the macaroni, and it's like, nah, it's like something way different. It's like fucking paper or something. Lots of holdings. That's what I thought. They're like a holdings company at this point. Now they're like a holdings company. Because they're fucking berserko rich. Again, they probably did make all their money on Raytheon then. That would make sense where they got most of it. And that's why the league was rigged for us for all those years. Because we're the government team. Get over it. What's up, memorabilia? How's it going, man? How you doing? We're just kind of chilling out, enjoying the calm before the storm of tomorrow, I would call it. Oh, yeah, we're almost at 20 likes again. That's pretty sweet. I appreciate that, everybody. Man, I'm excited. A lot of good games planned for tomorrow. What, I guess I'll ask you guys, what game are you guys looking forward most to? Seeing as I don't have really, I mean, I guess if you have a team in it, you're like, well, I hope my team wins. Like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Me personally, I like the Cowboys-Niners matchup probably the most. Sunday's card looking solid. Yeah, I'm probably not watching that Giants Eagles. I'm probably not going to stream that Giants Eagles game. A lot of people will be doing it, and like, I like the first game mainly because I think the Jags and Chiefs will play a pretty close game, mainly because they played that very close game earlier in the season. And teams that tend to play the Chiefs close always play them close. It's always like a very like you can look at the teams that always play them really close, and it's like the last like 4 years they always play them close. Like the Titans, I think the Colts always play these dudes close. The Broncos have always kind of played them close-ish. You know what I mean? It seems like it's always the same teams that have the same kind of results. The Patriot. They have like a weird playoff thing with them. I don't know how to dictate that. Yeah, they do. They should win, but I like the Jags to keep it close. You got Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, 49ers. We have the same, except I got the Bengals. But yeah, I really am looking forward to the Cowboys 49ers. Good history in that game. A lot of tension in a playoff game between these two. A lot of all-time great matchups have come up between the 49ers and the Cowboys. I think this is the series of games that produced the catch from Dwight Clark. You know, a fun little bit of history. Did you know a young Tom Brady was in the stands for that game? And that was one of the moments that inspired him to want to become a pro football player, was that moment. It's kind of cool to think about that, isn't it? It's kind of weird to think like he's just some kid in the crowd in that game. You have Joe Montana, Tom Brady, and like it's just like this eerie layer to like all of it. I'm pretty sure at that point the Cowboys had a fucking crazy good quarterback. Might have even been Staubach. Like it's like Mahomes 7 divisional games. He's put up 30 in 6 of them. Holy shit, memorabilia. What's up, Lions Planet? How you doing, boss? But yeah, that's kind of a cool thing. You got all your picks correct last week except for the Chargers. Yeah, I went 3-3 last week. Not a bad week, but not a terrible week. 500 is all right. Playoffs are kind of weird. Especially this week. I would say like pick 'em this week is going to be really tough. This is the first, I would say this is one of the first divisional series, divisional weekends in a while where you can't just like pick out a team and be like, oh, they're winning, and they're winning. I don't think anyone has. I think the game you could be most confident in is probably the Saturday games. But then them Sunday games pop up and it's like, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I'm going into a pick'em contest this week. I went 4-2 last. That's pretty good. I changed my pick last minute to Tampa. I would have gone 5-1. Yeah, fucking Brady. Well, they cheated him, but you know he didn't do so good. Yeah, the Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys, and Bills. That seems to be a lot of people's things with the Cowboys and 49ers being about 50-50, it feels like, with a little bit more emphasis on 49ers right now. And the Bills. Seems like everyone's picking the Bills. I'm on the Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, and Niners. I think the Niners are one of them kind of teams where as long as they don't fuck up and turn it over like 7 times, they'll win the game on defense alone. I think they're up there with the I guess 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 2001 Bucks. 2015 Broncos. I'm missing a team in the middle of there somewhere, and I don't know what year it was and what defense it was. Like, was it another Ravens team in like 2000 and oh shit, what year were the Ravens defense really good? 2012? That game is a toss-up, really. I mean, if it comes down to the coaching, then Kyle Shanahan might outcoach McCarthy. That's another one. Yeah, it's a toss. Yeah, 100%. Pretty looked like a rookie in the first half for Seattle, and that Geno fumble in the red zone changed the game. I don't know if I can trust the rookie like that. Fair enough, memorabilia. Again, the defense is the game changer for the 49ers. If they come out and they look dominant, Dak won't ever get anything going. And then I also think that if the 49ers can shut down the run of the Cowboys, then the Cowboys offense never can really get going. Because again, one of the ways the Cowboys offense tends to build, we kind of went over this a little bit, is it goes run first, and then they kind of stop paying attention to Dak so hard. So instead of like every so often, you'll see Dak start making these like weird big runs of like 10 yards or more, and then they'll immediately throw a spy back in because again, you got to kind of pay attention to Dak running, or he will burn you. And then that's when they could start like taking these big chunk throws down the field because it opens Dalton Schultz up and it opens the running backs up, and that's when you see Dallas's offense start getting fucking moving. But again, I think that's going to be tough to get going against the Niners. They're like, yeah, we're not going to let that happen. Your fucking momentum-based fucking ladder offense, it ain't happening. You went 6-0 last week, but this year I'm not confident. I agree. On top of that, the game, on top of the game breakdown, there is the Dallas Cowboys getting beat at home last year in the playoffs. Yeah, didn't they lose to the Niners last year to like a much worse off Niners team? Yeah, that game's going to be, these Sunday games are pretty tough. I would say to me, the hardest game to pick is Bengals-Bills. Both teams are going to have these weird, huge chips to play for, and it's like, Man, this is a tough one to decide because both these teams feel like crazy motivated to win. Again, you have like the Bills or the Bengals who have this like super like underdog, like tired of being disrespected, tired of being kind of cast aside, tired of everybody saying like we would have lost. Remember, one of the things since last year's AFC divisional games and when the Bills lost and the Chiefs ended up winning and going to the Super Bowl, the Bills were like, that should be us going to the Super Bowl. They don't belong. They got lucky with it because we would have played the Bengals. We would have destroyed them. That's kind of like, that was like the Bills' attitude about that game. And if I'm the Bengals, I remember all them people saying them things like the only reason we win is because of the bad rules of overtime and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, man, nobody respected that appearance. They all kind of said it was just because the Bengals or the Bills got fucked. And then they came out in that game earlier this year, and the Bills looked like they were about to get smacked up by Joe Burrow and them Bengals, man. It was looking kind of scary for the Bengals for a second, or for the Bills. And then, of course, the incident with DeMar happens, so it kind of, The only thing I worry for the Bills is the quarterback. Yeah, Josh Allen's been kind of weird lately. He's been making a lot of bad mistakes, and I'm wondering if that's Ken Dorsey and not having Brian Dable there to help him out. And Ken Dorsey doesn't know how to make him stop doing that. I wonder if the DeMar Hamlin thing will be affected. Probably not. I think the Bills are mostly past it because he's okay and he's going to play next year. Again, I think the fact that DeMar Hamlin's okay and he's on track to play next season with no real problem. He's still being kind of monitored, but he should be all good. I think that took a lot of steam from the Bills, by the way. And I don't mean that in a negative, nasty way. They still want to win for DeMar and win for their guy, but it's, he's been hanging out at the clubhouse and shit. I mean, how emotional can it like other than just like background support, I gotta keep it like good motivation. He's fine. Like I know it was scary and it was a bad situation, but 99.99% he's good to go. If this would have happened in week 1, he'd probably be playing by like week 8, week 10, like somewhere later in the season, maybe even like week 14 or something, like a miracle comeback. He'd have played again this year, 100%. Burrow has ice water in his veins. Yeah, it's not even ice water; it's sub-zero water. Based on how they looked versus Miami, didn't the Bills player have a mini? Yeah, he got. I don't know if they were heart attacks. It was the commotio cordis, where it's where you get struck at the right moment in the heart rhythm. It could just send it off whack and fucking completely stop your heart for a second, reset the rhythm, or like It's in my head, that's why 1-inch punches work. Like you always see them things where like Japanese movies or like old karate movies where they're like the evil 1-hand punch, and they like put a guy like this and they go boom, and the guy goes oh, and just kind of like keels over and dies. Like that. I'm like, well, that's impossible. Now I'm like, holy shit, that's not only probable, but like them like touching the heart, they're like feeling for it. They're like 1, 2, bang. Yeah, that makes it way scarier. That makes it like way more legit to me. I'm like, apparently that's possible. You just punch them right in the fucking right second. You just kind of feel it out and then you go, pow. I'm like, that's what he got a 1-finger punch. He got a 1-inch punch. What the Cowboys Chiefs? Oh boy, I might not watch that. Not gonna lie, man. There's no winners for that in me. Dude, that would be awful. Yeah, I mean, you'd rather see the goddamn Patriots than the Cowboys Chiefs Super Bowl. You'd be like, I'd rather just put Brady and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Just take one of them out. I don't fucking care who. You guys would probably rather see Tom Brady win a Super Bowl than see that fucking shit. Ugh, imagine. Like, yay, the two greatest fan bases. Like, wow, what did we do to deserve this great game? This great combination of teams. Like, what? Why are we so blessed to get the Cowboys and Chiefs in the Super Bowl? The two of the nicest, non-fucking rub-it-in-your-face fan bases. That's awesome. I probably would skip the Super Bowl there. I wouldn't watch that shit. I bet. I have no care who wins this. I don't like either team. Like when Seattle played Denver, I didn't watch that fucking game. I was playing video games and I just kind of kept my eye on the score. Like what is that for me? What does that have for me in it? I don't care. Of course, I missed Denver getting the shit beat out of them, and then I watched Denver win the Super Bowl against fucking Carolina. That sucked. Yeah, I'd do anything to not have them two teams play each other, but all right though. I think this is a good natural spot to start to wrap it up. What up, Daniel? Oh shit, you just tuned in. It's 11:40, and it's hour 45 into the stream. Kind of getting a little tired here. These streams typically only go for a little while. I'm a 15 plus minutes. I'm about 10 to 15 over what I thought I'd go tonight. So, I don't have the class tomorrow, but I kind of want to stay on a schedule where, because it's a hybrid class where it's online and offline, or online and like in person once a month. So there's 4 or 5 meetings of the class, but I don't know what I have to do tomorrow. Like I'm like, I'm still gonna wake up and get on a computer and like read like part of the assignments, like maybe do some of the work and like I just don't know right away. So I'm kind of like still like I kind of want to be half ready for that, and you know. But I should be good to go. Are you guys doing pick'ems? Hell yeah, memorabilia. Make sure you guys go check out memorabilia stuff. Sounds like he's doing stuff. All right, though, everybody. I'm probably done for the night. I'm ready to go. So, we will be live again tomorrow, of course, for the Jaguars and Chiefs, and then of course, the Giants and Eagles. We're not going to do that game. That's going to be covered by the sports critic / Amir. He's gonna cover the Giants and the Eagles, mainly because like I was kind of like dreading covering this game because it's like 13 people will show up because there's like 8,000 Giants fans channels that'll be covering this game, and it's similar with the Eagles. So there wasn't a plus. I don't whatever. And then we'll just go live after that game ends for like an hour or two and just kind of bullshit around. And then on Sunday we're covering both the games, January 22nd. So we'll have the 3 o'clock game, then the 6 o'clock game. And yeah, should be pretty good. So that's the schedule for this weekend. Pretty straightforward, I would say. All right. Thank you guys again for a fun stream. Thank you for all the likes that everybody left. I think we actually hit our weird like esoteric like goal for these kind of streams. Every stream is 20, but like I don't really, we don't really push it too hard on these ones. And yep, all right. Looks like it's about good. My leg is so itchy right now. I hate it. Yeah. All right, though. That probably does it, guys. Oh, we did hit 21. I appreciate that, guys. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you when I see you next. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. And yeah, all right. That's that for this weekend. And week, well, what is this week, like 20? Divisional round games coming on up. I can't believe we're literally down to like 3 weeks left to the regular season, or the playoffs even. It sucks. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.